Again, it's not. Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Sunday evening? We won 2 games this week, so something fun to talk about. It's not all doom and gloom this week, which that's a nice positive. Of course, there's some defensive woes here and there, and so we can, go there if we need to and all that kind of stuff. So lots of fun things to talk about tonight. But as always, I don't do this by myself. Everybody say hi to everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Ed. How you doing, Ed?
How's it going downtown, Peter Brown? Everything's good, man. Excited. We keep winning. We need to keep going up in the stands, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, exactly. Fun weekend of got to go to 2 games and you only got to go to 1, but it felt like I don't know how you felt, Ed, but it seemed like to me for you, if I was like putting my thoughts on you and Julio, it's like it felt like to me like it had been forever since you've been to a game. Because there's been so many midweek games that you guys can't make it to. Seems like forever that you guys have had the chance to go to a game. So it was good to get, to get back in the stadium and, all the shenanigans of the Publix party and, and all that kind of stuff. So, it was good.
Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, I eat a lot there, and then Marco calls me up and he's like, "Hey, do you want to do the VIP thing?" So I was like, I couldn't do anything, and somebody keeps calling me.
Popular man. Well, while you're deciding whether or not you want to answer that, let's say a thank you to our sponsor, and that is Caneswear. Caneswear is where you need to go if you want to get all your Inter Miami gear. They have the messiest wall in all of South Florida. And get the best deals in town on Inter Miami. Plus, I mean, look, if you also like other sports in South Florida, they are called Caneswear for a reason. They have a huge Canes, the majority of the stores is Miami Hurricanes. They've got Dolphins, Marlins, Panthers. So they got it all there. So go check out Caneswear. Support us by supporting them. So you could do that. And then also, if you want to give a voicemail, you could do that. You can call 786-474-4435. We have one voicemail ready to go that we'll hit on tonight. But if you guys want to jump in, feel free.
Sorry about that, Peter. One of my daughters needs to know where our storage is at, and she didn't remember, so I'm just letting her know where it's at.
She doesn't know where the storage facility is?
I'm telling you, kids. I think she's been there already, too. Yeah, she's been there. So
that's funny.
But yeah. So where do you want to start, Peter?
Well, I mean, let's start with, I guess, the positive, but it's it's positive. You look at that we won 2 games, right? And so we could be excited that we won 2 games, and that is great because we are moving up in the standings. We're currently in 5th place. We obviously want to be in 4th. Forget about anybody that's worried about the Supporters Shield. Forget about that. For me, in a sense, the Supporters Shield, I don't want it because there is, generally speaking, the people that win the Supporters Shield don't win MLS Cup, right? It can happen. It has happened a handful of times, but it's rare. So we already won it. We don't need it again. Forget. And so anybody that's worried about Supporters Shield, screw that. We just want to be in the top 4 because you have hosting. You host some games, right? So we want that. But so we're moving up in the standings. That's great. But as B King says here in the chat, defense wins championships. We don't have a defense, I think. So it seems it's like, man, and I don't want to be negative, but we complain about the defense all the time. But do we need to start putting a little more focus and complaining about Ustari? The way he was bobbling the ball on Saturday. I think if I remember correctly, even on the Tuesday game, he looked a little unsure at times. It's it's time to start looking at who's our next goalkeeper. Because unfortunately, though, they signed Ustari to next year. He's here next year too, but it doesn't mean he can't be a good backup for another young guy. Bring in a young guy or something like that. But our defense, as bad as it is, we need an all-star goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, right now we do have the other younger guy, the Argentinian kid, who's
Novos Rios.
probably he's going to be the one. I would imagine they'll start
But
relying on him a little bit more.
is that what you want for next year? Do you think he's good enough? You want him next year? I want better.
I haven't seen him do that much. I mean, and he's been all right, but maybe start giving him a few more chances to start. I don't know. It's gonna be tough, man, because Yarborough is also older.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of
he's not going to see the field unless there's injuries. He's not even dressed most weekends.
That's true.
He doesn't
But
even
he does
sit
have
on
a
the
lot of
bench.
experience. He's basically an American type of Ustari is what he is. So
Yeah, he was retired and he came back just in case of emergency break glass. You know, that's all he's there for.
That's kind of what happened with Ustari too. He was
That true.
Retired. And so we're bringing back these retired guys. Maybe we should bring back some other another keeper that's from back in the day.
Oh, bring in another old guy. Let's bring in Jeff Cassar. He's old.
Hey, exactly.
He's old. He has ties to South Florida.
I think. Or Nick Raimondo.
Yeah. He's retired for a long time. Let's bring him back. He's at least a little bit younger than Cassar because he was Raimondo. He was Cassar's replacement.
Yeah.
Let's go old school Miami Fusion.
There you go.
Louis Rodriguez jumping in. Good to see you, Louis. Definitely Miami needs defense. We continue to lack in the defense line. So I know that we sit around and I know pregame and all that stuff, and I know I was sitting talking with Julio during the game that I think we all kind of agree that they can't bring back Avilés, right? Avilés has to go, being one of the problems of our defense. But
and it's too bad because he's they spent a pretty penny on him.
Sure.
So they need to, there was the rumor that he might go to Zaragoza, which is Jorge Mas's other team.
Let's do that. Let's make that happen.
Let him go, and hopefully he'll develop over there or something.
Clearly, we need him here for the rest of this season because roster freeze is here. You need everybody you got, right? Because on Tuesday we had literally 5 people on the bench. That was it. And those are several of those people are not people that would normally see the field, like Ryan Saylor. I mean, he's seen the field twice this year, I think. Also, what's his name? Santiago Morales. I don't think he's seen the field once this year. I'm not sure, but I don't think he saw the field. So, you've got like that's your bench. So that's like the C team, right? Your B team's already injured or suspended or whatever, or just you sold them off and you didn't replace, all that kind of stuff. But Avilés, going back to him, his contract, he still has 1 more year on his contract. So they either have to sell him or just break ties, or what I think could happen if they don't sell him to somebody like Zaragoza, which is just really like moving him from one, it's still Jorge's ownership, right?
Yeah.
I think you keep him on the team, but he is now the guy on the bench. Like he only comes in case of emergency. Like because he's okay. He's not terrible. He's okay. He does do some good things from time to time, but he also does a lot of boneheaded things.
I agree with that. Look, somebody's going back to the goalkeepers. Waisia is saying Dibu. He wants Dibu. Expensive though. And I think he just signed for somebody else. Would you want he's the starting keeper for Argentina? Would you take somebody like that? He would be a DP.
Yeah, I'm just never crazy about signing and using a designated player role for a goalkeeper. I've always been of the opinion that, man, in this country we know how to catch things. There's plenty of Americans, although it seems to have thinned out over the years. I mean, if you look at the U.S. national team, the goalkeepers aren't as strong as they used to be. the ones that we have to choose from. So, I don't know if those days are kind of gone a little bit. But yeah, I don't think I would go and I would not use a designated player spot on a goalkeeper. Would you?
Yeah. No, and the thing is, there's also, I almost jumped ahead, Peter, and you told me not to jump ahead. To, to
Well,
go by,
you could jump around a little bit. I just told you don't burn all the topics in the first minute, which the chat room does.
Well, the reason why I was saying is because we don't have that many DP spots,
Right.
designated player spots. So
Right.
next year, hopefully they'll give us a fourth one, but they're basically covered for next year. So we even if we wanted to get Dibu, we wouldn't have a space for him right now.
Why is that?
Because we have the DPs covered. We got Rodrigo.
But we don't really, because one of the DPs is in his last year of his contract. So we've all talked about, and we could jump. Like, I know you're saying don't jump ahead because I told you, I warned you, but whatever. It was just don't burn it all in the first sentence. That's all. With the rumors that were all over the internet today, Busquets retiring. But even if Busquets didn't retire, the conversation was he could come back, but not as a designated player. That he would come back as a TAM player. But the rumors are now that he could be done, and so either way, whether he retires or if he takes a lesser contract, you would free up one designated player spot.
Right.
But my thought is that designated player spot should not go to a goalkeeper. It should go to, I generally think your designated player spots should go to people that can score, because it's marketing as much as it is person on the field, because you have limited numbers, right? You have to think of it that way. You can't just think best player that we need in a spot, because there's more weight to a designated player. So I mean, you could sign a designated player as a center back, but I still kind of lean towards guys that score goals, because center backs aren't sexy, for the most part. I know you can name a few that are, but for the most part, they're not.
We definitely need another forward.
Right.
This year, you could totally tell Suarez is, he's still creating chances. He's still assisting incredibly well, but he just hasn't had the scoring abilities that he's had in the past. So maybe he might be another guy that is going to retire. He's not a DP right now.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see if we get another goal scorer, number 9 forward. That that would be DP.
Tank says we have goal scorers. Who?
Yeah.
Other than Messi, who?
Yeah, Allende every so often could score a goal.
Segovia every so often, but consistently. Right. Who do we have scoring goals? That's one of my issues that I've had with lately. Is like we harp and we moan so much about our defense. Let's not forget about that offense, because if it's not for Messi, we don't score. Either he's setting up somebody, right, which is fine. I mean, he is an important the team is built around him, so I'm not saying he shouldn't be involved, obviously. But if he's got an off night, we're done. Or if somebody like Seattle shows you how to shut him down, we're done. Tank is saying, when I asked who, he says Segovia. Yeah, Segovia is good. I like Segovia, but it's again, he's not consistent. But I just think right now, as always, we are so Messi dependent. We need somebody else that can, do what, in this last game, like what Allende did on his goal, that beautiful, assist from Messi from the 40-yard line on the other side of the line, and somebody that can run. So Allende did exactly what he's a bit of a one-trick pony, right? He can stretch the defense. He can run. His touch is generally off. And I fully expected him to screw that goal up. I'll be honest with you. So, you know, we need somebody like him that can consistently score. Because even if they brought back someone like Suarez has proven this year he's now an assist man, which is fine. That's needed. But we do need someone to put the goals in the back of the net, and I just think another big name. If we're talking DPs, another big name DP. To me, it makes sense for somebody that scores. Somebody that can stretch the defense, and I don't know who. I'm not just going to sit here and throw out names because I don't know. And in all honesty, this team would probably find somebody you're just not even thinking about. That's just kind of what they do.
Well,
Some South American.
I like the DC United player Benteke. I think he was he's big. He can head the ball. He could do. He can score. And I think with Messi, he'd be incredible.
Oh, yeah. Benteke, just think about it. He last year, I don't know if he was the Golden Boot or he was in the race at least. I don't remember. He's generally in the top of the Golden Boot race, and they suck. DC United are bad. Yet they scored 2 goals on us.
Right.
But now, they're bad, and he's still in the running for Golden Boot. Now you put him on a team like for example, like you're saying, us. That would be pretty. I mean, I don't know if their playing styles work together, but I'd like to find out. Right? That'd be cool.
He's a big target. The good thing about him is he's a big target, and Messi could find him. Anybody could find him because he's just that big.
Yeah. So, here, Tank is adding, saying they should have signed Kai Kamara. He's been on every team. I agree. I am a fan of Kai Kamara. Everywhere he goes, he scores. I don't know if he's scored yet for Cincinnati because at the last game I watched that he played, the commentators were saying he's still searching for that goal. So he hadn't scored. And this was a few weeks ago, so I don't remember. I don't know if he has as of this point, but he is also. I just was looking up on Capology.com, which is a good website, good source for finding out what people are making and all that kind of stuff. It's pouring out here. I'd have to look it up again, but I think he was making around 80,000, like making kind of league minimum almost.
Wow.
And you would think he would make much more based on his name. He's been around, but I think because he's old, they basically pulled him out of retirement almost and put him on Cincinnati. And so, the guys in the chat though are just saying how players that we should never have lost. Should have never gotten rid of Campana. He'd be ideal right now, and should have never let go of Taylor either.
Taylor, don't get me started.
Tank, Taylor, and Gressel. We miss. I mean, there's Mr. Krabs in agreement on Gressel. Never should have gotten rid of Julian Gressel. He can cross good. Yeah. Look, Gressel was I think a key component to last season that just didn't get a lot of publicity. Love. Yeah. He didn't. It wasn't on the stat sheet, but I mean, I think he did a lot.
Yeah.
So I think he did a lot.
Player, man. He's good. Yeah.
So and it kind of leads me down to my kind of bullet point number 2, which is now we got 2 games on the road, and I'm concerned. Because DC United is a team that's eliminated, and yet we allowed them to score 2 goals on us. We cannot keep a clean sheet. We don't know how to keep a clean sheet. I didn't look it up, but I thought about looking it up. Maybe I can do it on the fly. But just what are the what are our goals against? How many goals have we given up this year?
Yeah, I think we scored 60 goals, but we're up there in the
against. What have we given up?
Yeah, I saw that earlier today. I know we've scored 60 goals so far. We're I think the top team in scoring, but we also are one of the top teams in getting scored on.
46
goals.
Have
a positive.
46 goals against.
That's a lot.
Where does that rank? Okay. There are teams that are goals against that are worse, but those teams are bad teams. Colorado, Dallas, Houston, San Jose, who's trying to rebuild, St. Louis, Atlanta, Kansas City. So I'm naming all bad teams that have more goals against. So because we have someone like Messi, we can outperform our goals against and do okay. But now we're traveling to New York City, and New York is hot right now. And they are one of the hottest teams in the league right now. And they play on this awfully small field. Now I understand they're not playing at Yankee Stadium; they're playing it at Citi Field where the Mets play. People tell me that field is a little bit bigger, but it's still a baseball pitch. It's still not an ideal situation, especially for us. I don't think we've ever played well on those baseball fields.
Yeah.
So I am concerned about 2 road games. So we've got Wednesday, I think is New York, and then Toronto is Saturday. So we've got 3 games in hand, I think it is, to get up on the standings. But those, I mean, and as I was just before DC United scored, I was thinking to myself, and it was on the tip of my tongue to say to Julio that. And you can see in that game that the difference between what is perceived to be one of the best, like we are perceived to be one of the best, and what is one of the worst, the difference is not that great.
Right.
I mean, on any week, any game, we can lose. And obviously, if we can't overcome a deficit, we're in trouble because that's clearly,
Well, if we're games behind. We're catching up.
Mm-hmm.
With the good thing. Well, it's going to be difficult because we're 3 games, less than everybody else. If we win those 3 games, we could be potentially in first place. We'd be a point over Philadelphia, but it's going to be tough, man. Like you said, New York's a tough cookie to get through, and I don't know, man. I don't know if we've got enough to not lose any of these games.
Yeah, New York just beat Charlotte 2-0, and they are sitting currently in 4th. What's that?
And Charlotte beat us, so
right. What, they beat us? What, 3-0, something like that? They scored. They got that one guy got a hat trick. I know that.
Yeah.
So, a lot of conversation in the chat about keepers. We've got everybody talking who's the best goalkeeper. I'm in agreement with LM10 HD that Drake was our best goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm. And I playing, man.
I would agree with that.
I feel bad we got rid of him.
Yeah. Remember Luis Robles?
Yeah.
He was with the team for a minute.
Yeah. He basically retired after 1 year. Yeah.
So Luis Rodriguez, going back to our defenders conversation, says Falcone as a defender, he's good, but Noah Allen makes him look weak. So you're a fan of Noah Allen is what that sounds like, which Noah Allen got a new contract.
Yeah, good for him, man.
So they signed him for a long time, too. They signed him to 2028. So he's with us for 3 more seasons, assuming, and then 1 option year, assuming that, and this is something that Franco Panizo brought up when he was in the post-game mixer, and I was in practice. I think he was in practice. He asked the question to Noah Allen about, hey, there's kind of a history that when you sign a new contract, next thing you know, you're out. Could that happen?
That happened to Taylor.
Yeah.
Who else? There were a few players that they did that with.
Well, didn't Kromoski get a new contract at some point too? Not this year, but last year maybe. And he's gone. But he's on loan. And that's the kind of, here's the thing is when I wouldn't want to compare it too much to Kromoski because he got a promotion. He did what you want, right? He's moved up, right? He got what he wanted and what most people would want. But yeah, I would be sad to see Allen leave, and especially look if no Allen for some reason, if they do that to no Allen, it better be hey he's moving to Europe, right? I don't want to see him at another MLS team for some $150,000 in GAM, which that's
Right.
like the going thing. I don't want to see that because he is definitely a local favorite. I mean, he is. I remember when he first started playing, and his dad was listening to the show at times, and we would love on him, but at the same time, sometimes I'd bang my head against the wall because he kept getting started, and yet I wasn't seeing it. To me, Noah Allen is the most improved. Like he shows like the path. Like you can come up from the academy, you can learn on the job, you can improve, you can get better, and you can hold your own on a team with Messi and Alba and Busquets and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm real happy for him. And then obviously I saw in the chat, we have had it in the bullet on the ticker as well, is that next up needs to be Bright, because Bright. How much do you think Bright's making, Ed?
I think he told me something like 80 grand, something like that. And
83 83,647.
he deserves a lot more. And Inter Miami better wake up, because he's a player that can go somewhere else and make a lot of money.
Yeah, already before Noah Allen's contract, he was already making more. He at 126,667. So I don't know what his new contract is, because that won't be kind of published until like Players Association publishes that stuff like three times a year, I think. So it won't be
Yeah.
for a little while before we see his new number. But his old number was still higher than Bright. So Bright, they have on a huge bargain. I mean, he is a bargain player. But yeah, I think they're definitely working on it, right? I mean, they're working on
Yeah.
it.
They need to give him a lot of dinero so he can stay, because he's an incredible player, man. He's just really solid. He was better than Redondo. He's just a great player, and he's young. Big future ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And also, Bright, is in the last two games, you noticed uh, Mascherano kind of changing tactics a little bit, because he's now putting Alba basically as a midfielder slash forward, right? He's up top the whole game. They don't even put. I was noticing this on Tuesday, and then again on Saturday. When they put out the list of the players, they generally put them in the groups. Like you have the three. The first is the goalkeeper. Then you'll have like the three or four defenders grouped together, then midfielders, and they put Alba at the bottom of the list, which is just above or below Messi, right? So they're listing him kind of as a forward there, but realistically, he's playing more as a midfielder. But with that, so tactically that's happening with Alba, but it's also happening with Bright. Bright is playing much more advanced in these last two games, I'd say, more so than maybe some of the others.
Yeah.
So that's cool to see him getting into the attack a lot more. Here was one comment here from Jay Vasquez saying that Inter Miami will not be able to establish itself as a top tier MLS team until they invest in figuring out their defense issue. No reason I've given up 2 goals to DC. I agree to an extent. They already are a top tier MLS team, whether you agree or not. They are.
Right.
Just when you have Messi on the team, you are a top tier team. Simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
Definitely,
people think of MLS, they think of Miami. But
they think of Messi.
Yeah, exactly. And so we are top tier. And so, yeah, to your point, though, it's like the old Spider-Man quote, something like that, with great power comes great responsibility. When you have someone like Messi, there are certain expectations, and you should not be giving up 2 goals against DC. 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Still some more conversation about goalkeeping. We that was not part of the plan to talk really about goalkeeping. It just kind of came out of my mouth, and we just went with it. But
It kind of developed.
the chat is definitely going on and on about goalkeeping. Johnny the Fifth Shank is asking if this is Busquets' last season. Saw it in an article this morning. Yeah, I mean, we don't know anything more than you do, but it does. The rumors are out there that this could be his last, and I mean, I kind of assumed that. I kind of had a feeling he would not be coming back because there was some conversation about that earlier in the beginning of the year as well.
Yeah, and I think he's still doing stuff with the ball. I think he's still good enough. He has become slower though. Right? Every year he's been slower and slower, but he
Yeah.
could still move the ball around really well. And I would take him, of course, not as a DP, but maybe not even as a TAM, but give him you know, some minutes, and it'd still be a great player to have on the bench. But it all
Yeah.
depends on what he wants to do.
Yeah, of course, it depends on what he wants to do, but it'd be amazing that if he's not at least on the field, if they could move him into the coaching ranks, so you
That's
get that experience if he chooses to go in that path. Now,
right.
some of these, I mean, these players aren't like you see a lot of, not a lot, but I mean, a handful of former MLS players that move into the coaching ranks. Part of that to me is, hey, they got to still make a living because
Yeah.
people like Ben Olsen were in the earlier years of MLS and he didn't make big checks. So he needs to keep working. When you're somebody like Busquets, you don't need to keep working, right? So you're good.
Yeah.
It's just, does he have the passion and the desire to get into that coaching side of things? That would be interesting.
Or maybe he want to be, involved with the team in some way. Maybe he can take up an office position. I don't know.
But
There's some stuff there.
what make him and put him in recruiting? I mean, what would you do? Because I mean, to me,
Yeah, he'd probably have a good eye for players.
maybe to me, I'd mostly, if he's not on the field, I would want him near the players. So that means coach. Now, I'm not talking head coach because I don't want to just give somebody a head coach job just because you're a good player. Look what we got with Mascherano, right?
Right.
But as an assistant that can sit there and teach players some of the stuff that he knows, that, like you said, he knows, like he's got that spidey vision, spidey sense. Then somebody's on him and he turns and shields the ball and makes that person look foolish. He does not have the speed, so when he gets burned, he can't catch back up. I mean, he's in trouble. And he tries, but he just can't do it.
Yeah.
Look who's back. Mike V.
Mike V. Wow.
Mike V, how can we bring Tata back? We were talking about this last week. Can we bring Tata back?
Yeah.
Funny thing is, we talked about Tata coming back here. I think we talked about it last week or the week before. I didn't read the article, but there is an article in the Athletic about, hey, Atlanta, would you be interested in bringing back Tata? And I didn't read the article, but I'm going to assume the answer is yes. They would love to have him back.
Yeah, and they love him,
and he had success there. So it'd be interesting. But
we might be interested in getting him back too. I know a lot of people that would want him back.
I would take him back in a heartbeat. But here we go. He still says Tata out. There we go. I would say Tata in right now. Tata in, because I'm kind of done with the whole Mascherano thing.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, let's go to a voicemail.
It's time for your voicemail. Hello.
Hey, Peter, Uncle Ed, and all the great fans. I'm reporting to you from the stadium sites early in the morning because I'm always taking number 17 to the airport. I haven't had coffee. I'm not really awake. The sun is like rising. There's like millions of traffic though, believe it or not. And I'm coming down the ramp and there's all these cranes in a weird spot. And I go, man, what is that? That's not the stadium already, is it? But they're building a whole other thing. It looks like it could be the parking garage, and it's really, really far along compared to your last video. So you get your butt over there. although those train videos were very good. Thank you very much. But anyway, pretty exciting because I guess they are building the parking garages, or else it's something else. But it's on the backside. It's on the Lejeune Road side, where you come down the ramp from the airport, and you're like, F me, I'm already there, because I was like trying to get the camera out, the phone, you can't be like on the ramp and the curve and the thing and the palm trees in the way and everything else to try to get a shot, and it's like barely daylight anyway. But Peter, get yourself over there, and Uncle Ed, and tell us the story. So it was very exciting. And team did okay, they won. We have the Messi miracles. So keep the faith. Love you guys. Love the show. Peace out.
All right. Thank you, One World. So where she's talking about on Lejeune, I don't have the map up, but I think that is the spot where the parking garages are supposed to go.
It is, yeah. That's the Lejeune. That's where they were going to put the parking. So yeah, if that's what she's seeing, we definitely got to get over there, because I didn't see that one coming just yet.
The last time I was there was 20 days ago, because it was easy to remember. It was September 1st. In 20 days, they've done a lot, it sounds like. Now, that's parking structures. I think it's just a box, basically. So it's easy to prop those up pretty quick. So it doesn't surprise me that it would go up fast, but that is definitely positive movement.
That's a lot of that's good, because I didn't expect that one so soon.
Noble Protocol saying garage is going up. I don't know if that means he saw it or just celebrating based off of what One World said, but yeah. I mean, it definitely needs to. They need to happen, but there was some conversation. I heard some people talking about potentially parking on the gravel, just no different than what we're doing currently for the first season. But garages was originally, when I was told about phase one, garages were phase one. It was garage and stadium was phase one.
Yeah.
Everything else is phase 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Noble Protocol says Mass Tech always on time. It's funny, you're being positive about Mass Tech. So many people like complain about Mass Tech, call them the mafia and all that kind of stuff. I see some comments sometimes on our videos of just people like complaining about the construction company, which I don't know anything about it. So all I know is is when they needed to get things done quickly at Chase Stadium, it happened, and that stadium opened on time. So I don't know if that'll happen here, if this one will actually open on time or not, but hopefully.
Yeah. Well, they've been able to do everything quick, so I think I don't know much about Mastec, other than the Moss brothers are
I'd never heard of it before they became owners of this team.
Yeah. Now I see them everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Now I see it, because it's one of those. It's one of those things. Is when you buy a new car, you're like, oh, I've never seen anybody drive this car, and then you buy it, and then all of a sudden you see everybody's driving that car. I forget what they call that, but there's a word for that when it's just like it's everywhere.
Well, whatever that word is, it's definitely happening, because I've seen
exactly
trucks now.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, let's move on to some of the other fun topics. The rumor is, or not even rumor. I mean, it's being reported by ESPN. I saw the report from this. I forgot her name, but a young girl that covers Inter Miami for ESPN. I saw her on the football. What is the ESPN show that Hercules Gomez is on? Football. I forgot the name of it.
I know what you mean.
But yeah. Hercules Gomez is on some ESPN show with the word football in it. Football America, maybe? Okay. And she was, anyways, they were interviewing her about it and basically saying it's basically all but signed, but obviously it's not. Now, there's rumors that it is signed and they just haven't announced it. But what she was reporting was that it's not yet fully signed, because keep in mind that this is one of the most complex contracts ever within this league, because he's getting paid from so many different sources, from Moss to Adidas to Fanatics to Apple TV and all everybody. Noble Protocol says the show is ESPN FC. Is that the name of the show?
No.
Okay. Well, okay.
Well, I think
Maybe
that's one of them. There's a few
that may be one of
shows.
them. I hear Guyver is saying it's Football America. So they probably have
There you
several of them. But I was watching the one that Hercules Gomez is on. That's all I'm saying.
That's
And I think
Football America
think
is one of them. Yeah, the ESPN FC is also another one. So they have he appears in a couple of different shows. On
I like him. He's outspoken. I like him. You know me. I like when they're outspoken, whether you agree with them or not. I like it. He also posts things on his own personal YouTube channel where it's just like sometimes some hot takes of him just sitting in with his iPhone and just doing a quick talk. So it's good. But so anyways, they were saying that the interesting thing too, though, is as far as making the announcement that he's coming back is because it's all single ownership, single entity. It's like you could get it all agreed upon here, but then it has to go to the league, and the league has to go through it and sign off on it. So, Messi's going to obviously get rich off this contract. But who might be getting even richer? The lawyers. Because of all this dotting the I's and crossing the T's, that is a lawyer's dream. And, I'm sure
piece of the pie.
They are getting a big piece
of that pie. Oh, yeah.
Lawyers are getting paid on that deal. So the rumor I had heard, Ed, and maybe I don't know if you've heard different, but it was minimum of 2 years. But someone threw out the potential of it also being a 4-year contract.
I don't know if that's maybe in the bottom part on the dotted line or something. If he feels like playing more, maybe that's an option.
Options.
Yeah, you might have options. So we don't know it. Nobody knows just yet what is. It's all speculation at this point. That he's going to do it.
It's going to be in that fine print somewhere that if I feel like it, that's going to be all this happens if I feel like it. There's going to be something in there, right? It's like a lot of it's going to be up to him. I'm sure. Like if I'm not up to it, if I wake up one day and my body hurts too much and I'm kind of done with this nonsense, I'm out. I'm sure of it. There's got to be an out clause for him.
Right.
But I don't know. That would put him, if they went 4 years, I would put him at playing until he's 42. I don't know about that. But at least 2 more years is what the talk is that he'll sign for. He was making, I think, let's see, I think 20 million a year, almost 20.5 million a year. Curious, it's going to get a raise. How much more do you think he gets?
He's making money everywhere. Everything he touches is money coming into his pocket. I mean, all the sponsorships and stuff. I mean, he's making just 20 million with MLS.
And that's just with Inter Miami. The 20 million is Inter Miami only. So that's what I'm all like. I'm curious. That's what I mean. He's going to get a raise across the board, but I'm curious on what his Inter Miami rate. What is Jorge Mas responsible for? Is it doubled? Does he double it?
He gets something for the shirts, I'm sure. He gets, dude, it's just, guys, he's
well, that's different, though. That's a different deal. That's different. Just what is Jorge Mas responsible for? That's different. The shirts is Adidas and Fanatics. Yeah. That's different. And he's going to get that's the other thing, too, is, the people that are in love with Messi and there's some people that love Messi so much and they hate the fact that he's playing for this team. That I know there's one guy that pops up on, I don't even subscribe to him, but he shows up on my Twitter just because, they suggest things, right? This guy Kava or whatever. I think everybody has probably seen his nonsense. But he's like, he hates the fact that his idol plays for us. And that he kind of covers the team a little bit through Twitter, at least. But he hates it. He wishes he was playing on a better team. But, it's been widely reported that Messi will get part ownership once he retires of this club. So if you think about it, Messi continuing to play helps him financially today because of what Moss is going to pay him and what Adidas and Apple and all that are going to pay him. But it also improves the valuation of the club that he is going to have a piece of. I mean, that's also just smart future business.
Yeah, the team is already worth, what, $1 billion?
Something like that.
He's getting a percentage. We don't know how much. We speculate it could be between 5 and 10. So, that's still some, potential right there that you can turn around and sell.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I always felt like Beckham was really in this, for the financial part. Like, I mean, I know there's some love to it, but at some point he's going to want to sell it off and get some money out of it, and I, especially when times were tough with the team, I was like, oh, he's going to get frustrated and just sell this sucker, and he only owns I think like 10%. He'll just sell his percent and just be like, I'm done, right?
Yeah.
So that's always possible.
Bought and more. Of the
I know.
When Claret went out. So.
Yeah, that was 10% was what he originally had. But yeah, once Claret left, it went up. I don't know what the percentage is now. Yeah. Mike V is saying that Jorge is going to gift him a Fresco y Mas in Broward. I don't get it. Tell me what a Fresco y Mas is, Ed.
Is a Winn-Dixie, or just with a Spanish name?
He's going to give him a Winn-Dixie? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. That's what he's saying, yeah. So he's going to give him one in Broward, he said. A Fresco and Moss, which is a Winn-Dixie in Broward.
Ah. When was the last... Do you go to Winn-Dixie, Ed?
Sometimes I do. But mostly my wife is a Publix shopper.
First off, I don't do a lot of shopping. I don't go to Publix. I don't go to very often. Unless I'm literally walking in for a second to grab a 12-pack of beer and then leaving. I'm grabbing one thing and I'm getting out. That's generally the only thing. And I don't think I've been in a Winn-Dixie in probably 20 years or more.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I'm snobby like that, Ed. I'm like, Publix, I don't Winn-Dixie feels a little, I think that's kind of where Mike V is going with this. It feels a little slummy, level, right? Not. Yeah. But I actually went into a Winn-Dixie like 2 weeks ago because I was grabbing a pizza because I'm on a health kick, pizza, and my wife had said, and this was unusual, but she said I think it was last Friday, not this Friday, but the last Friday, saying, what sounds good for dinner? Pizza and a beer. Now we had neither. I had no pizza, I had no beer, so ordered the pizza from a little local pizza place, not Papa John's or anything like that, and then. There's a Winn-Dixie right next to it. So might as well just walk in there and grab myself some beer. That was the first time I had been in a Winn-Dixie in like forever. I forgot that was even around because I had heard that that another grocery chain had bought Winn-Dixie. Oh, Aldi's. I think I had heard Aldi's had bought Winn-Dixie. And then they were going to change them all into Aldi's. But it hasn't happened. Anyways.
No, it hasn't happened. Wow.
Tangent. We haven't done tangents in a long time. Back in the old days, this show would go off the rails all the time, and it hasn't. So I figured it was about time to go off the rails.
Star Wars. Yeah, we talk Star Wars and geeky stuff. We even started doing this a geek show.
Hey, there was an image that was posted about Star Wars, the new Starfighter movie with oh darn, what's his name? What's the actor's name? The guy that was in the Barbie movie, he played Ken.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loves him,
man,
because he's good looking and all that stuff. He's going to be in the new Star Wars movie, and so there was a shot of him and some young kid out in the middle of the ocean. It actually looked like, if you had told me it was going to be the sequel to Waterworld, I would have believed it. But it's supposedly something to do with Star Wars. It's Starfighter specifically.
So somebody will probably put his name in the chat right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, once you say it, it'll be like duh. But I just can't remember it at this moment.
Oh yeah, you're right. That guy. Yeah, it's like on the edge of my.
My daughter would know who it is because the Barbie movie. Right.
Yeah.
But back to Messi, people were saying they're comparing him to Ronaldo and stuff. Messi's so competitive, he'll play until he destroys most of Ronaldo's padded stats. I mean, some people might say that about Messi, that his stats are padded because he's playing in a lower level league, But then again, so is Ronaldo, right? I mean, he's playing in a lower level league as well.
He's just scoring left and right, and they have terrible defenses in that league, so
there we go. Thank you, Mr. Krabs. Ryan Gosling. I told you, once I saw the name and be like, oh yeah, you're an idiot. Of course. Yes, Ryan Gosling. I knew that. I just couldn't remember his name. He was originally in The Notebook. That's where he first popped up. That was a movie I did not want to go see but I did go see to in the theaters to make. I think at the time I was married. I think it was make my wife happy to go see a romantic movie, and it was actually a very good movie. He was a kid in that movie. I think he was real young. Anyways, how do we feel about the next two games, Ed? I talked a lot, but do you feel confident in the next two games as we're wrapping this up?
Well, the thing is, the one I'm not feeling too confident about is New York City FC.
Right.
Who is the other team we're playing again?
Toronto.
Toronto's doable. I think we could.
If we can't beat Toronto, we should just pack it in. And Mr. Krabs asks, does anyone really think this team can win MLS Cup this year? I'm not so sure. I would agree, Mr. Krabs. Somebody asked me this. I think it was Eric Thomas, who I don't see in the chat today, but I think Eric Thomas asked me how far I thought we made, and I said second round. I just don't see it. When we can look good, we can overcome a deficit. We've proved it time and time again, but not necessarily in the big games, and we've proved that time and time again as well. So in those big games, all anybody has to do is there's a handful of teams, Seattle being the most recent, and whatever team we're playing just needs to study that game and just what did they do. Some of it, of course, is about your players and can they do what they did and all that stuff. But just study that and Eric is here. He says he's here. It's like you're in school here.
Yeah, but he's usually talking more on the.
I didn't see it. Now I haven't looked. I don't see all the chats because yes, they're on my right hand screen. But I try to look at the camera as much as I can, so I'm not always looking at the. Chats, so I can look at the camera. But so I don't think we win. And then I think we were chatting about that and just like, hey, look, it sounds like if we don't win MLS Cup that the sky is falling and everything is a failure. Keep in mind, Beckham was a big deal when he signed with the LA Galaxy. It was, at that time, the biggest thing ever in MLS. And it took him 5 seasons. I think it was on his 5th season that they won MLS Cup. And then they won 2 in a row. I think. But so
won 2 in a row.
It took some time to put the right team of players around the star player. And it's also trying to figure it out with the wacky MLS restrictions and rules. It's there's actually something that came out this week, and I was just going to look to see if I could pull it up real fast, at least for me to look at. The club profiles were put out, and that's where the teams have to announce, how many designations. They're doing 3 DPs and 4 and 3 U22s, or 2 DPs and 4 U22s, and all that. Anyways, it did say, it also broke down how many international slots we're using. So, and this made me think of it because it's just talking about the MLS rules and maximizing those rules. We are using 15 international roster slots.
Wow.
15. I knew we had a lot of foreigners on our team, but 15 international roster slots. I mean, you could probably count on one hand then who's the American players, or players. When I say American, really players that have a green card, right? That would not count as international. That's a lot. When I think each team only gets 6, 7, something like that. They get every team gets a small number of international roster slots, and then you have to trade for them. And we've given them away. We've gotten new ones. We've given them away. We sold them, whatever. But we're using 15.
Wow,
that is a lot.
And most Argentinian.
Well, yeah, yeah. In this document, it doesn't go over their nationality, but it does just say that they're foreign. It doesn't even show, who's American or anything like that. You just have to then start looking at the players and just try to figure it out on your own. But it's interesting. I thought, there's a lot of interesting things in there, but the most that really jumped out at me was just how many international roster slots. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs says 15 and 10 of them are Argentine. Yeah, I believe it. Again, I'd have to sit there and count, but you're probably right.
Yeah, I think so. I think two are Uruguayan, one Venezuelan, and what else? I think that's. I'm trying to think of anybody else.
Yeah, I don't know, because I mean, some of the other players that you could say have other nationalities are still American. Like you could say Noah Allen is Greek because he plays for the Greek national team, but he's American. He's
right.
He's an American. He's just using his mother's nationality for international play. You could say the same thing with Fafa in that he's Haitian, but he's American, right? So
he's American, yeah.
Noble Protocol says no Cubans. Well, not known for playing soccer, but there was the one Cuban playing for many, many years with Seattle. Ozzy, wasn't his name Ozzy something or other?
Yeah, Ozzy.
Alonso. Ozzy Alonso.
Nice. Yeah.
Pulled it out of there.
There you go.
Stancy is saying that I'm bougie and that he shops at Aldi. I think my wife shops at Aldi sometimes. I for the most part don't shop, but yeah, I like Publix. Is Publix considered bougie yet, or really, if you want to say bougie, wouldn't it more be like the Fresh Market or one of those kind of places?
Oh yeah, like I know what you're talking about. The what's it called?
What's the one that Amazon owns? Amazon owns one of those. The big Whole Foods. That would be more bougie. That would be more bougie, right?
That would be.
We don't go there. I don't very often. I mean, my wife will go to every one of these stores at some point because she wants one particular thing. But yeah, but I think that would be wouldn't Whole Foods be the bougiest of supermarkets?
I think the more expensive one, but Publix is right after. So
Tank is saying yes, Publix is bougie. Now I wouldn't think it is because I grew up going to Publix, right? Because it's been here all my life. But then if you go to a grocery store outside of Florida, that is like you go to like a Kroger, which is a big store in other states. And it looks like a Winn-Dixie.
Right.
I was like, I heard of Kroger. I heard Kroger's good. I'm like, man, Kroger ain't. It's no Publix.
Right. But yeah, they're kind of like the same thing. And in California, I remember there was Safeway. There's some different ones that I remember. They all look the same. Man.
I mean, when I was a kid, okay, we went to Publix a little bit, but we also went to Pantry Pride. I don't think you guys even remember Pantry Pride. You got to be old. And I don't even know if it was how big of a chain it was, but it was in South Florida. I do know that. In the 70s and into the 80s. So I would go there. So that wasn't bougie, but that's when coming up in the hood of Miami Gardens.
Right.
Where I grew up. Anyways, all right. Well, I think that's enough supermarket chat for tonight. Ed, I know we put up a video today. Talk about what you loaded up today.
Well, we did another VIP experience, which is pretty cool. We went with Marco El Oso Donoso. We do the Spanish show. We're also going to do a Spanish vlog, so check out that one. Hopefully, I'll have it out by tomorrow. It's going to be a little different, so you're not going to see the exact same things that you saw in the vlog that just came out. It's the English one is a long vlog, but we cover a lot of stuff. It's kind of cool. I liked it. We got all the goals there, so
cool.
Go and check it out. Yeah,
got a couple pitch invaders. Yeah. We had a competition. Yeah. I haven't watched the video yet. Did the competition come out good?
It came out really well, and I came out on top. So you guys got to go check that out. And
we had our staff videographer with us, my wife.
Yes. She did a good job.
Whenever I'm doing my game day vlog and you see me walking into the camera, that's my wife filming it. So, oh, look at this. Noble Protocol worked at Pantry Pride. All right. Oh, yeah, wrapping it up, talking about supermarkets. How about Sedano's? I don't know if I ever went to a Sedano's. I've seen them. I've been to Food
They don't
Lion.
speak English in Sedano's, Peter Brown.
Hey, look, you want to talk about a Latin grocery store that is really good? Got to go check out Key Supermarket.
Yeah, heard of them.
It's a chain. I don't know how many there are. There's one up here in, I think it's what is it, in Coconut Creek or Pompano? I don't know. It's like right on that edge. But Key Supermarket, it's a Latin kind of supermarket, but it's really good. Like they got like, you could get, if you want to go in there looking for a beer or something, you can get some beers from Colombia. I mean, they got them from everywhere. It's awesome. Love it.
Yeah. There's also Bravo. I don't know.
Yes, Tank. We remember Albertsons. I think I do. I remember Albertsons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, you never know where we wrap up the show. If we go off on a tangent that brings up a fun conversation, we got to do it more. We got to get back to the old days. The funny thing is, I always enjoyed when we went off topic, but then people in the chat complain. You know, not this chat, not the people that are here, but later people complain. So it's like, whatever. We got to do what's fun for us and you guys in the chat that are here along the ride for us. Hey, another video we're going to put up again next week as soon as I film it. So I don't know exactly when. I'll have it up, and I don't know how many people are actually interested, but hopefully you are. And I'm going to do a video about Miami FC's stadium announcement. So they had an announcement, and so I'm going to go into details, show stuff, go into maybe a little history of Miami FC. I know it's not going to be a video that gets a ton of views because, hell, nobody goes to their games. But I think I wanted to show them some love, and I'm a stadium nerd. That's why we do the construction videos originally. That's why I started doing them. It's just because I love that kind of stuff. So we'll put that one up, I don't know, later in the week. I gotta make it. So, all right. So I don't know exactly when. I gotta find the time to film it. But whenever I do that, that'll be up hopefully this week. So should be some good stuff on the channel.
Yeah. So check it out, guys. There's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of games still coming up. So we're gonna probably cover as much as we can.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. See you, everybody.